Okay, so in this Framer tutorial, you're going to learn about a few hacks only veteran Framer users know about. So if you are a beginner and you want to get ahead of all the other beginners and learn about a few tricks and hacks that can help you be more efficient inside of Framer or do things, more easily or quickly, this video might be for you. So my name is Nandi, this is Framer University, and let's get started. So as you can see, I'm already right inside the Framer because I don't want to waste a single minute of your life. We're jumping right inside of the first hack right here. So let's say you have a large card on your website, you've just designed it, but you're like, actually, this is too large. I kind of want to make this smaller. So what you would normally do is you'd start like resizing this, but you soon notice that that's not really the fix, because then you have to scale down all the text sizes manually, and all the corner radius values are also not really scaling, so you also have to mess around with that, and the whole thing is just too hard, so it's not really fast, right? So what is the easy way to make an element smaller inside a Framer without having to manually resize it, manually resize all the corner radius values, all the padding values, all the text sizes? Here's the quick hack for you. So all you have to do is select the card that you want to resize, press K on your keyboard, and then you basically pull up the scale tool with this. As you can see on the top right, now we have this scale sort of selector, and I can just maybe scale it down 0.5. And now you can see the whole thing just got scaled down, and I can just apply this, and now the card is smaller. And you can see everything got smaller, all the text sizes, all the corner radius values, all the padding values. So now I have a working, card that I can, start playing around with, turn it into a component or whatever. So it's just much easier than, manually doing all the work. So scale tool, make sure to remember it. Just press K on your keyboard and you can launch it. On to the next one. I have a little pages panel here, and here's the next one. Okay, so copy. So let's say you have, two of these cards, and you just basically designed this other one on the right, and you kind of want to just copy the previous styling from the left card over to the right card. So you might be like, okay, I have to like kind of just go here to the fill and try getting this color and do this manually one by one for the text layer as well. Try to change the color and stuff. But there is a much easier way of doing this. Let's say you also have like a corner radius value that doesn't match it. As you can see here, it's now not even rounded. Here's the quick hack for you. All you have to do is just select the element that you want to copy the styling of, right click and hit copy, where is style? Copy style, here it is. So once we click copy style, we can go over to the other card, right click and paste style. And if you paid close attention, you can also see that this has a little shortcut, Option, Command and C. So we can also press down that shortcut. For example, let's try it with the text layer. Option, Command and C is pressed down, and then I can paste it in with Option, Command and V. So now I'm going to select this other text layer on the right card, Option, Command and V. And as you can see, the styling is perfectly pasted in. I can try it with this little tag here as well. Option, Command and C, Option, Command and V on the text layer as well. And as you can see, if you kind of learn this and you have this shortcut in your hand, you can easily copy styling from one element to the other to, I don't know, just speed up your workflow, I guess. Okay, so let's see what's the next one. Now this is crazy. So let's say you have your website up and running, it's complete, and it's not really a completed project, right? But let's say you have all sorts of different elements on this website. It's a hero section, whatever. But you have a few buttons on this page, and you're like, okay, by now I can click this. It takes me to Framer University. Everything looks great. However, one of your viewers or visitors will be like, hey, learn more button isn't working. And you're like, wait, what? It's not working. I am clicking learn more and it just doesn't work. So what is the problem here? Well, it doesn't have a link. If we take a look, Buy Now has a link applied on the right panel. These are components, of course. As you can see, it takes us to Framer.university. However, Learn More doesn't have any links. And this might happen for you as well, especially if you have a large site and you have a bunch of buttons scattered all around. It's just quite hard to like manually having to go into the website and like, you know, check all the buttons manually to see on the right panel if they have the links. So here's a quick hack for you that allows you to really easily and quickly tell which buttons have and which buttons don't have links applied. So the way you do it is you go within this component. Hopefully your buttons are set up as components, just like this example, as maybe a primary variant as well as a secondary. And the trick here is that what we're basically going to do is we conditionally set the fill color, the background color, to a red color, but only if the link variable isn't applied or the link property isn't applied. So the way we do that is we select, first of all, the primary style. We go to the right panel, fill color, and then we do a set variable, a link, and we do isn't set. So if it's not set, we're going to set the color of this button to red. So we will, you know, see it on the canvas that, that button doesn't have the link. And if, you know, the link is set, then we will just display the regular white color that we originally had on this. Okay, and now what we're going to also do is we're going to do this on the secondary as well. So we go to fill color, set variable, link isn't set. When it's not set, we set it to red. And when it's set, we set it to the, I don't know, I think it was gray, something like this. So now if we go back, as you can see, we immediately see that the Learn More button is actually red. So we can see, okay, that doesn't have a link. And notice what happens as I apply a link here. Let's just point it to maybe the home page. You can see it immediately switches back to the regular styling. So let's say none of these buttons had links applied because you just forget to apply them. You're gonna see it, like it's gonna be no question that these buttons don't have links. So it's just a super easy way to quickly skim through all of your buttons on the website and make sure that all of them have links applied. Great, let's move on to the next one. Auto switch. So as you can see, I just selected the left pages panel inside of Framer, and I went on to the auto switch page. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just zoom in here a little bit and then select this text because it says select me. So I selected it, and as you can see, I just realized that this project is not set up correctly. So let me just do it really quickly so I can actually show this to you properly. So again, I'm right inside of Framer. Sorry for the little blooper, but I'm right inside of Framer and I select this text, and notice that the left pages panel is still there. Still, that's the one that we have selected. And when I select a layer on the canvas, I would like to, you know, see the layers panel because now I'm selecting a layer. So I would like to see if it's within a, I don't know, a frame or a stack or whatever. And I would, you know, just want to see the layers panel. But that's not really the case here. I switch to the pages panel and I select the layer, and we have to then manually click over to the layers panel, which is a bunch of clicks if we think about it. Like if you work for, you know, 1, 2, 3 hours inside a Framer and you work on your website, you have to click that layers panel a bunch of times if you're switching between pages. So what's the easy fix for this? Well, you have to go within your settings, so top left. And the problem was that I already had this set up inside of this Framer, I don't know, user interface. And that's why I wasn't able to show it to you previously. But we have to set the preferences, auto switch to layers panel, and we just have to toggle this. As you can see, we click that and now it's going to work perfectly, because once we switch to another page and then we click and select this card, for example, notice how the left panel will change. As you can see, it just automatically changes to the layers panel, which is exactly what we needed. and it will save us a few hundred clicks every day probably, which is very good. And now that we're here on this page, let me show you another hack. So you can see we have this card here, which is a component that has a hover state. It's very similar to the card that we had on the first page, but whatever. So as you can see, I hover over this and the little information appears on the bottom. It just animates in very, very nicely. However, we have a little problem. You cannot really read the text and the information that animates in because this image in the background is pretty much white. So how would you fix this? You would probably go within the component and you're like, okay, I need to create a frame that's over this little image, and I have to set it to black color, and I have to set the opacity so it's a little bit see-through. It kind of acts like an overlay, and that way I can make sure that when I hover over, that is visible, and it sort of adds this, I don't know why it's not applied, now it's applied, it sort of adds this contrast to the image. However, that's the sort of hard way of doing this, because there's a much easier way to achieve this inside of Framer without having to add additional layers, setting opacities, and a bunch of other things. So let me just go here and delete this overlay frame that I created, and let me show you the easy fix. You just have to go to the hover variant, and you have to select this image, and on the right panel you click Styles Plus. And here we have filters, so you might not even know that inside of Framer we have filters, which is just crazy. So with these filters, you can add blur, background blur, a bunch of things here. But what we are looking for is the brightness, because if you think about it, we just have to decrease the brightness, so this image gets a little bit darker. So this text and this little tag on the right is a little bit more visible. So now if we hover over this, as you can see, we kind of have the same effect that we had previously. However, we didn't have to draw the frame, we didn't have to mess around with transparency and stuff. We just had to apply a single property to the hover variant and decrease that value. Super easy, super simple. Now let's move on to the last Framer hack that you should absolutely know about if you're a beginner. And this is the fact that when you have a CMS inside of Framer, let's say this is a blog, as you can see, you can click on these little items and read these posts and go to the next one and whatever. And you might think that, oh, I created my CMS, I created my blog, it's so good. I'm gonna have a bunch of views on my website, my SEO will be very good and stuff. No, it won't be. It will only be great if you pay attention to this one thing, because this is really important. So what many people overlook, especially beginners, is that inside of the settings, you can go and select the detail page of your blog. For example, you can see this is the index page /blog. And if you click this, this is going to be the detail page. Now, what you have to understand about, the detail page is that it's sort of like a template. Each of your items will generate a new page. So now what we have here is a setup where the title on each of your blog pages, each of your blog posts, it's going to be the same, Quick Hacks blog. But this is not really great for SEO. Like if you search on Google, you can see that all of the titles that show up in results, they're all different. Like they have unique titles. It's not really great if you have the same title on all of your posts, but how can you make sure that it's dynamic? Well, here's the trick. All you have to do is you have to add these variables. As you can see, Framer also gives you a little tip here, but many people miss this, that you can use the CMS variables, for example, title or slug or other fields that you might have inside the CMS, and you can add it in the page description or the title. You should actually add it in the description as well if you can, but in the title, definitely. So the way we do this is maybe we can just click it. Yeah, we can. Okay, that's pretty good. So we just selecting the title, we click the title here, and now you can see that this is inserted here. And maybe we can add the little dash and that looks pretty good. And you might be like, oh, that looks very weird, like how it's going to look like. Well, you can just take a look at here on the preview. As you can see, for example, on the getting started item, it's going to say getting started, quick hacks blog. But of course, it's going to be different for all of your items. So I can just hit save, and basically that's it. If, for example, you can see we have a blog called styling elements. For that specific item, the title will be styling elements, quick hacks blog. So make sure to set your site settings up properly for, especially for these, blogs or other CMS collections, to make sure that these are dynamic, and that's the way you can achieve great SEO results. And I think that's it. That's all the, I don't even know, 6 or 7 or 5, I don't remember, like little hacks for you that you can use to speed up your workflow and kind of take yourself from a beginner's state to someone who knows a little bit more about Framer. Now, if you want to learn even more, you can go to the Framer.university website, because I have a bunch of resources, tutorials. It's just a crazy resource. Honestly, I'm almost at 600 resources here. So you can literally just scroll forever here and get, I don't know, ideas or inspiration. And these are not just like things that look cool, but stuff that you can actually go within and remix and see how they are built. And we're also writing little descriptions for each to kind of teach you how they're built, or maybe they even have dedicated YouTube tutorials, which is, even better. So if you, again, want to learn more about Framer, you want to get cool components for your website, make sure that you're regularly, visiting Framer.university. I think that's it for this video. Also, if you had any questions or you got stuck somewhere, just write a comment. I'll do my best to answer you guys. And yeah, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.